In today's video I will talk about coronavirus. Coronaviruses are a family of 7 viruses that cause disease in animals. Including the new virus, have made the jump to humans, but most just cause cold-like symptoms. Coronavirus is closely related to severe acute respiratory syndrome which swept around the world in 2002 to 2003. That virus infected around 8,000 people and killed about 800, but it soon ran itself out, largely because most of those infected were seriously ill, so it was easier to control. Coronavirus is different to these 2 other coronaviruses in that the spectrum of disease is broad, with around 80% of cases leading to a mild infection. There may also be many people carrying the disease and displaying no symptoms, making it even harder to control. The source of the coronavirus is believed to be a wet market in Wuhan which sold both dead and live animals including fish and birds. Such markets pose a heightened risk of viruses jumping from animals to humans because hygiene standards are difficult to maintain if live animals are being kept and butchered on site. Typically, they are also densely packed, allowing disease to spread from species to species. The animal source of COVID-19 has not yet been identified, but the original host is thought to be bats. Bats were not sold at the Wuhan market but may have infected live chickens or other animals sold there. Bats are host to a wide range of zoonotic viruses including Ebola, HIV and rabies. Initial symptoms include fever, dry cough, tiredness and a general feeling of being unwell. Other symptoms are emerging such as a loss of taste and smell and stomach problems. There is no specific treatment, although doctors are trialing existing drugs for viruses such as Ebola, malaria and HIV. Early results seem promising, but, until full clinical trials have been concluded, doctors cannot be certain that the drugs are effective. Work to develop a vaccine is accelerating, but it is unlikely to be available until next year. Like cold and flu bugs, the virus is spread via droplets when a person coughs or sneezes. The droplets land on surfaces and are picked up on the hands of others and spread further. People catch the virus when they touch their infected hands to their mouth, nose or eyes. It follows that the single most important thing you can do to protect yourself is keep your hands clean by washing them frequently with soap and water or a hand sanitizing gel. Number 1. The virus spreads in a similar way to flu or the common cold, in large droplets produced by coughs and sneezes. Germs can live on surfaces for several hours. Number 2. Public Health England defines having close contact with a virus carrier as being within 2 meters of the person for 15 minutes. Number 3. For people who might have coronavirus, health officials are urging a catch it, bin it, kill it approach. In short, this means catching sneezes and coughs in tissues, throwing them away, and then washing your hands. Number 4. Regular hand washing is considered the most important precaution to reduce the chances of contamination from the virus lingering on surfaces. There is some debate about whether the disease is airborne. There is no evidence for it yet, but that could change. Airborne viruses linger for a longer period of time than those spread by droplets and can also be spread in air conditioning and ventilation systems. The current advice is that the disease can only be spread between close contacts, defined as spending more than 15 minutes within 2 meters of an infected person. Various crazy conspiracy theories have been circulating that the virus somehow escaped from a Chinese lab, either by accident or design. However, this is categorically untrue, and scientists studying its genetic code have linked it to bats. It probably then jumped to another animal, which passed it on to humans. The number of diseases crossing from animals to humans is growing, and teams of virus hunters are tracking them down. According to data on the first 44,000 cases released by the Chinese authorities, 80% of cases are mild. In roughly 14% of cases the virus causes severe disease, including pneumonia, and shortness of breath. In about 5% of patients it is critical, leading to respiratory failure, septic shock and multiple organ failure. According to the WHO, the death rate in Wuhan is 2 to 4%, whereas in the rest of China it is around 0.7%. The death rate around the world varies greatly, and there are multiple reasons for this. Experts believe it could be to do with the way deaths are counted, the age of the people affected and the state of the health service in each country. The 1918 Spanish influenza remains the most devastating flu pandemic in modern history. The disease swept around the globe and is estimated to have caused between 50 and 100 million deaths. A cousin of the same virus was also behind the 2009 swine flu outbreak, thought to have killed as many as 575,400 people. Other major influenza outbreaks include Asian flu in 1957, which led to roughly 2 million deaths, and Hong Kong flu, which killed 1 million people 11 years later. There are plenty of basic precautions you can take to protect yourself against catching respiratory viruses of this type, as well as following government advice and staying at home.